Humanity's greatest shortcoming is to constantly care for the soul being this internal, emotional, very relatable energy that constantly wants a person to look after themselves, to support themselves emotionally, spiritually, mentally, to always have the selves back. And so the soul being this guiding energy, which is always trying to get them to experience life and also death, to welcome change and feel excited about newness, about springtime, the flowers blossoming, and trust that there is this divinity that will be born through the process. I just wanted to read a passage from Care of the Soul by Thomas More, um, just to bring some insight to you that may be different than a normal self care video that explains how you need to take care of yourself and why. I think if we look from the soul's perspective, um, as to why we do constantly oscillate between loving and giving and nourishing ourselves to one extent, to then also depleting and giving to such a degree of anger and resentment. If we can look at it from the soul's perspective, um, we can see that there's a bit of a higher pulling to what has to be done for this very wholesome, present experience of life. Let me just read this to you, and you can gain what you will from this, okay? If you have this book, it's on page 304 at the very end. It says, Care of the soul is not a project of self improvement nor a way of being released from the troubles and pains of human existence. It is not at all concerned with living properly or with emotional health. These are the concerns of temporal, heroic, Promethean life. Care of the soul touches on another dimension, in no way separate from life, but not identical either with the problem solvings that occupy so much of our consciousness. We care for the soul solely by honoring its expression, by giving it time and opportunity to reveal itself, and by living life in a way that fosters the depth, interiority, and quality in which it flourishes. Soul is its own purpose and end. Mm. We know the soul is being cared for when our pleasures feel deeper than usual, when we can let go of the need to be free of complexity and confusion, and when compassion takes the place of distrust and fear. Pick up this book if you'd like to. How do you want to give yourself back energy to follow something that is greater, that doesn't really make sense? Okay, we live in such a time that we're always wanting to control and to perfect, to dominate. It's a very sacrificial way of living life, but it's not for a purpose of, it's not really for a purpose of your soul's calling. It may just be because it's something that you have to do because of your title or your identity, but if you can just give your soul the kind of nourishment that it needs to feel this compassion, to feel this um, met, met action through and from, how would you want to care for yourself in such a way that's always giving back? I know you may go into times where you do feel this sense of deep connection to the way that you're nourishing yourself, but notice how you may also try and control that deep nourishment. Okay, it's as though you think that you're doing good for yourself, but maybe that's just the ego that's trying to do good for you, and you may be doing more harm. And I invite an inward looking, an inward feeling, and noticing. This is really big within body work, is to learn the voice that is pulling you, and to just trust that first energy, the feeling tones, the images, to really trust what these are. This is the soul. This is the direction that's going to lead you to a path of expansion, whether that's painful or whether that's something that is of love. There's so much within the energies of the soul. So, I'm not sure if this video has helped you or not. I just wanted to make this light and bright and a little open, very unscripted, as my cat joins us in this video, because this is my um, this is my 1 year mark on YouTube. So I'm just celebrating with a very carefree, very light, very open conversation with you on how you care for yourself through acknowledging your soul. That's all I have for you. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.